Hello everyone, this is Stephanie from Stephanie Reviews, and this is my first attempt into, well actually my second attempt. I tried filming before, but I could not get through it. But this is my second attempt at my first video for my new channel, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep up filming. This is a temporary space, or may not be, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I do movie reviews on Instagram, and a lot of people have been telling me, you know, take it to YouTube, and I see a lot of people already do reviews on YouTube, movie reviews on YouTube, and I thought it would, not only could I do movie reviews, but I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to make an introduction series to not tell you everything about a film or about a genre or about an actor, but to give you an insight on where to begin if you are interested in the topic. So today's topic is Italian cinema, as you can see by the title. So this, like I said, not getting into the history, this is just for anyone who is curious about Italian cinema and doesn't know where to start, this is where you start. So maybe I was hoping I can do not only Italian cinema, but American cinema, obviously. Maybe do an actor series where like Marlon Brando, Sophia Loren, Marcello Mastroianni, stuff like that. So comment below what you think about it and any suggestions, since this is my first time filming myself and it's very different than being behind the camera, which I usually am. So let's begin. So I chose 4 different films. They're all here on my bed, that's why I keep looking over here. But I chose 4 different films that I think are really phenomenal Italian films, and there are 3 different directors, and the first director I'll start off with is Federico Fellini. Now these 2 films I have by Federico Fellini are Criterion. Now you do not need to get the Criterion version because they are expensive. If you're just looking to watch the film and not really get into the bonus features and how it was made, then I'd go on eBay or Amazon and just look up the film and buy the cheapest one you can get with subtitles if you don't speak Italian. But I personally love the Criterions because for film aficionados like me, I get bonus features. Not only do I get the film, I get the commentary, I get like 4 hours of bonus features. Well, maybe not 4 hours, but feels like 4 hours of bonus features. So these are Criterion. You don't need Criterion. Carrying on. Okay, so the first film I have by Federico Fellini is La Dolce Vita. And let me get, because I tried, the first time I made this video, I tried recollecting the plot and saying it out loud, but I just need to go on IMDb and I'll tell you the plot summary. A series of stories following a week in the life of a philandering paparazzo journalist living in Rome. That pretty much sums it up. It stars Marcello Mastroianni and Anita Ekberg, who I wish were in like 20 other different films because they are so beautiful. Such a perfect film. They have such great chemistry is what I'm really trying to say. And Anita Ekberg in the film is gorgeous. She is absolutely stunning. And Marcello Mastroianni, handsome as ever, charming as ever. And one thing I really love is I'm really fascinated by Italy. So you really get a great insight at the scenery of Italy, and it's just so pretty. It really is just so pretty to look at, like the Italian backgrounds and all that stuff. But Federico Fellini, he's definitely a staple in Italian cinema and in American cinema because his films became pretty big in America too back in the 60s when this was made. But he has also inspired directors. Federico Fellini has also inspired directors like Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino, and a lot of great film directors today that a lot of people know about and really like. So, La Dolce Vita. The second film I have by Federico Fellini is 8½, and this is the old, I think they have a new version because this is the old packaging for the Criterion. But yeah, this is still, it's just a DVD, not the Blu-ray version. And let me get the, how am I doing so far? How am I doing so far is what I'm trying to ask. Okay, so a brief summary, one sentence summary of 8½, is a harried movie director retreats into his memories and fantasies. And that's pretty much it. And it's a great film. I love how Federico Fellini switches between his reality to his dreams. Although it could be confusing sometimes to determine what is a dream and what is a reality. It's a really great film. Aspiring director, female, male, doesn't matter. Grab it, because it is a great film and it will help you and it will inspire you, and it does kind of help. It will give you tips and somewhat of an insight, because it was back then, not today. It will give you somewhat of an insight. I'm staring at the viewfinder if I look really weird, but it will give you an insight of what directing was like in Italy and a little bit of what directing is like today. Okay, the next film I have, and another director, is Luchino Visconti. And this one sadly should be in the Criterion, but it's not. And it's called Rocco and His Brothers, and it stars Alain Delon, who is one of my favorite actors. Having recently been uprooted to Milan, Rocco and his 4 brothers each look for a new way in life when a prostitute comes between Rocco and his brother Simone. So, very dramatic, probably one of the best. I think, even though Federico Fellini, love him, but this is probably #1, I would say, because I really love the drama in it. Great directing, great acting, and just a great film overall. And one thing, a little disclaimer, Italian films tend to be slow moving. So if you are not one with a lot of patience, like let's bear, 2001: A Space Odyssey. There you go. That is a great film, slow as hell. So if you cannot sit through films like that are really slow, then I would not get into Italian cinema, because some of them, I mean, there are really good films out there of Italian cinema that are fast paced, but majority of the good ones are pretty slow. But if you have the patience for it, get into it. So the next one I just watched, and I'll be doing a review on it soon, is by the director Dino Risi. And Dino Risi is a new director who I'm just starting to get into, and the first film I watched that he directed is Il Sorpasso, and this is the Criterion version as well. And what I really love is it's a comedy film, and the duo here, what's the name? Vittorio Gassman and Jean-Louis Trignat, I think is how you pronounce it. Vittorio and Jean-Louis definitely remind me of a Italian version of Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, and I think they're a great match. Like, I hope there's more films out there starring the two, because they had great chemistry. And sorry about that, my camera died on me, but Il Sorpasso, it says here on the IMDb plot summary, an impulsive braggart takes a shy law student for a 2-day ride through the Roman and Tuscany countries. And great directing. I love how normally in old films, whether it's Italian or American, whenever people are driving in the car, there's a really fake background. But this film, they actually mounted cameras onto cars, onto the, what was it, the Scorpion car? I don't even know what it's called. But they mounted cameras onto the car, and you really get to see how beautiful Italy is. And it's a really great background, and it's great directing, great dialogue. Vittorio Gassman, extremely charming and funny, and definitely recommend it. That's it for films, and now I have books. It's by Peter Bonadella, and it's called Italian Cinema. It says Italian Cinema from Neorealism to Present. Got this on eBay for $3. Free shipping, couldn't refuse it. An offer I couldn't refuse, but it really gives I can't say it's a brief history of Italian cinema, but it is, because Italian cinema is pretty huge. But definitely a great book that goes through all aspects of Italian cinema, from comedies, drama, and I would look this up on eBay for $3. And once again, it's Italian Cinema from Neorealism to the Present by Peter Bonadella, and this is the expanded edition. And this is, I wouldn't say it's a book, it's a screenplay. It is the screenplay of 8½, and it's in English, but I would recommend this, like I said before, with 8.5, that these two together are perfect for any aspiring director, because not only do you get to see the film and the life of the director, but when you read the screenplay, it's very, very interesting how things change and how it's just great insight on how the film is made. So then there's that. And then this book, oh, I also got the 8.5 book off of eBay. I think I paid like 10 bucks for it, but it was like brand new, so I took the offer. And then last book I have, it's His Life and Art, and it's a book about Marcello Mastroianni. $4, eBay. I love eBay. This is a library book. I think you could tell it's a library book because it has like those covers that protect the hardcover, like that clear plastic cover. But look, if you are familiar with Marcello Mastroianni, look this up. It is by Donald Dewey, and that's D-E-W-E-Y, and look it up on eBay. If you like Marcello Mastroianni, grab it. And then lastly, last two things I want to talk about is soundtrack. Now, soundtrack does not, how do you say, does not get the recognition it deserves in Italian cinema. Like, a lot of people will talk about films and stuff, but a lot of times the soundtrack can be left out unless the soundtrack is not instrumental. Like, it has vocals and singers and stuff like that, like Pitch Perfect and stuff. But the first one are done by the same composer, Nino Rota, and they actually go with the films. This is the La Dolce Vita on vinyl. Naturally, you don't have to get it on vinyl. You could probably find it on iTunes or on Amazon. But this is the La Dolce Vita vinyl, and Nino Rota, great composer, knows how to create music that goes so well with the tone of the film, with the drama. It really, his work just really heightens oh, that was the noise. We have Rocco and his brothers. Great soundtrack too. Reminds me, Nino Rota also did the Godfather soundtrack, which, I mean, is fantastic. But a lot of the elements in the Godfather soundtrack is found in Rocco and his brothers. Well, what I hear. There's a lot of the same type of strings, and if you're really into the Godfather soundtrack, I would check out Rocco and his brothers. I'm not sure if this would be on, it might be on iTunes or Amazon, but if you have a record player, I got this for $8 off of eBay. And yeah, another composer who I don't have, because the record I have that he composed is an American film, but another composer would be Ennio Morricone, who also did this infamous soundtrack for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and he's a really great composer that you should check out. And so I hope you guys like this video. If you have any comments or any suggestions, please comment below, and check out my Instagram page at Stephanie_reviews, or you could just use hashtag #StephanieReviews altogether on Instagram. I hope I can make more videos like this in the future. But yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day.